Welcome back to the latest edition of NC Sports Weekly News, with top events from the wide world of water sports. First, off to Guadaloupe Island in the Caribbean and the toughest offshore race for the Aquabike circuit. Baptiste Gotti takes the victory. Then, Ian Walker breaks records, seals a sensational Leg 5 win, and takes the overall lead at the Volvo Ocen Race. Spindrift Team hops on the new DM24 trimaran and wins France's Ski West Classic. Senior correspondent Sebastien Destremau has the story. It's official, well, maybe. Rossa Challenge is out of the America's Cup as the Italians claim foul play in the recent downsizing of the AC class rule. Palma de Mallorca spells a victory for Kiwis Aleh and Powrie on the 470s at the 46th Princesa Sofia Trophy. Catch the top class-by-class results. NC Sports, plunge into the action.
I just took it easy for the race, knowing I just had to finish. Didn't want to take any risks. I'm happy. I'm very happy.
With a victory in Stage 5 and a 4th place in Stage 6, Frenchman Jean-Baptiste Gotti sealed an impressive overall win at the 2015 Carragé Classic. Now in its 18th year, this spectacular and highly demanding event on the Caribbean island of Guadaloupe has gained a reputation as the toughest offshore race in the world for the Aquabike circuit riders, as well as for a tight pack of talented amateurs. The 28-year-old from Porto Vecchio and 2010 world champion didn't take any risks on the final Stage 6 to ultimately come ahead of compatriot François Médori by more than 11 seconds on the overall scoreboard. Médori also put in a top performance and closed in second place after recovering from a tumble and a 24th place on day 2. Completing the all-French podium, a happy Alain Terza took third place honors for the second year in a row. In other results, Christophe Dabricot, Wilfred Belizer, and William Lopin took the top spots in the amateur category. Living up to all expectations, a Leg 5 from Auckland, New Zealand to Itaja once again proved to be the toughest of them all in the Volvo Ocen Race course. And that's why Abu Dhabi's record-setting arrival in Brazil gained even more significance. 18 days, 23 hours, 30 minutes, and 10 seconds underscore the huge performance by the Emirati yacht, skippered by Ian Walker of the UK.
Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful welcome, and it's been a spectacular leg. The 24-hour record, the rounding of Cape Horn was incredible. In fact, leaving New Zealand was incredible, East Cape. And then we had the big storm we had to get through, and then finally the big battle for first place. So time has gone very fast. It was quite cold, quite windy. It seems like we never stopped the whole leg. And yeah, the reward is here to see my family.
The team also set the longest distance covered on a 24-hour stretch with a whopping 551 nautical miles in the over 7,000 needed to cross the violent South Pacific and the treacherous Cape Horn Passage. The rest of the fleet, however, was no pushover, as the Spanish team Mapfre arrived just 32 minutes later, and the battle for third place between the Americans of Altimedica and the Dutch on Brunel was decided by less than 2 minutes. Truly an amazing performance by these top 5, and indeed another strong point in favor of the one design edition of the VOR under the pen of the Bruce Farr design team. Dongfeng and SCA were less fortunate, with the Franco-Chinese team forced to retire from Leg 5 after breaking the mast just before Cape Horn, while the ladies are now reaching Brazil with plenty of damages on board, including instruments, sails, and a rudder. Abu Dhabi Ocean Racing now leaps into first place of this VOR 2014-2015, but Caudrelier's Dongfeng is still in the game with a second overall, and Brunel moves up to third. Crews now will be participating in the Import Series around the buoys in Itaja before setting off on April 19th for the next 5,000 nautical miles of Lake 6 to Newport, Rhode Island in the USA.
Spindrift White, skipped by Xavier Reville, wins the Speed West France in the new DM 24-1 design class. A very nice Speed West with great conditions, 15 to 20 knots of wind daily. For the boss Jan Guichard, this result confirms the team's choice of sailing with two boats. It is very positive, first regatta of the year and first victory for Spindrift, a great week for us. The new boat used for the Tour de France is awesome and proves very popular amongst the big name in sailing. It was the first real event of the season ahead of the Tour de France. I am delighted with this result. With 17 boats on the start line, the battle is tough. It was really hard. You have to fight all the way to the finish to gain one single point. Following 12 races, Spindrift White scores card include 8 podiums finish and 4 victories. We trained really hard during 3 months for this. This victory is a huge reward for a team that has sailed right through the cold winter months. Since early January, the whole team was on the water and the hard work pays off, but there is still a lot of things we can improve on. With another event only 2 weeks away in Pornichet, there is very little time for the team to celebrate their victory.
America's Cup 35 is still 2 years away, and in line with tradition, it is already bogged down in a quagmire of controversy. Confirming last week's dockside chatter, one of the most representative teams of the modern era, Luna Rossa Challenge, has confirmed that it's pulling out, and Emirates Team New Zealand could also follow suit. At the heart of the matter is the recent majority vote, which will downsize the former AC62 foiling catamarans to a 48 to 50 foot almost one design version, in an attempt to reduce costs and hopefully create greater participation in this century-and-a-half-old event. Prada CEO and historic Luna Rossa team leader Patrizio Bertelli slammed the door on the AC Event Authority last week with a harsher statement. In sports, as in life, one cannot always go for compromise after compromise after compromise. Sometimes it is necessary to make decisions that are painful but must be clear-cut, as only these can make everybody aware of the drifts of the system and therefore set the basis for the future. Respect of legality and sportsmanship. The local sailing community, the huge fan base, and the national media have also been expressing their outrage as well as their support for the tough decision. Luna Rossa began its AC campaign back in 2000 and over the years has become an iconic symbol of the very spirit of Italian pro sailing. Frustrated and angered, ETNZ's Grant Dalton is also on the verge of a pullout since the event authority arbitrarily cancelled a crucial World Series event that was to take place in Auckland, New Zealand, leaving very little visibility to the Kiwi squad. Some analysts are still hoping for a last-minute agreement, but that may be hard to come by, and more days spent in court now loom once again on the America's Cup. More updates in the next NC Sports edition. Kiwis Kiwis Aleh and Powrie reconfirmed their supremacy in women's 470 last weekend in Palma de Mallorca and also grabbed the overall title as the best performing crew of the 46th Princesa Sofia Trophy. In over 11 races, the London 2012 gold medalists had few rivals in this spring classic of the pre-Olympic series. Consistency also paid off for Lucas Calabrese and Juan de la Fuente in men's 470, as the Argentinian crew came back to the circuit after 8 months with renewed strength and posting a 9-point advantage on the overall scoreboard. Winning 5 of 14 regattas in Palma, Peter Burling and Bowman Blair Tuke nailed yet another gold for New Zealand on the 49er. Another key success for Burling, now also the new designated helmsman for Emirates Team New Zealand at the next America's Cup, following Dean Barker's departure from the squad. Sisters Maiken and Anjuli Forteshoot placed a huge result in the 49er FX, pushing back fellow Danish team leaders Nielsen Olsen in silver and Australia's Price and Solly with the bronze. Great Britain's Giles Scott continued his domination of the Finn class, taking the gold ahead of Croatian arch-rival Ivan Kljukovic-Gaspic and Tapio Nirko of Finland. Winning 1 and staying in the top 5 for most of the 11 races held, Germany's Philippe Boule also had few rivals among the over 160 boats in the laser fleet, as Sweden's Stahlhem and Heiner from Denmark completed the podium. Winning 5 for Belgium in the laser radials, Evie Van Acker was simply unstoppable and took the gold ahead of Young of the UK and Ringdom from Denmark. France's Billy Besson and Marie Rioux also kept up their winning streak with another NACRA 17 gold in Palma. Britain's Gimson and Diamond took the silver, as finally Franck Amat and Sophie de Turckheim grabbed the long-awaited podium placement. Windsurfing gold on the RSX went to Kieran Badlow from Denmark, while France's Charlene Picon also continued on a high note by winning the women's division. Palma 2015 also hosted races in the 2.4, the Dragons and kiteboarding classes. Join the current on Nautical Channel for great coverage of the world's top water sports events. The WSL pros are now battling it out at Bells Beach for the final rounds of the Ripco Pro. Catch the highlights, the backstage comments, and the complete results in the next weekly news edition. Plunge into the action with NC Sports.